Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our GYST Podcast, where we help you get your together.
This place is a fucking disaster, man. It's embarrassing.
Silence real quick. How's that tea?
It's pretty good.
It's weird how it like. Do you feel it?
It feels creamy, like milky, like when you add cream to tea. 10 seconds silence in 3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another edition of your favorite podcast,
That's just too weird.
the GYST Podcast.
No, you gotta start over. That's just
Also
too
known
weird.
as Get Your.
Shit together.
All right, thanks, Kyle Reed, for that weird intro.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 95, and this is all about making friends as adults. And just so you know, a lot of times when we get together, a lot of work goes into putting each of these episodes together. Every week, it's probably about 5 to 6 hours of, from concept to finished product to marketing and everything. And so part of this is a behind the scenes. We want to let you guys know. We even changed the title of episodes as we're speaking. And so this one originally was Adult Friends. But we changed it to Making Friends as Adults. So thank you, Kyle, for that.
That's only because Rohit kept saying adult friend finder.
Huh? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, you showed it to me.
No, that's a good place to network and stuff.
It's not.
I think.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
It's to find special friends.
Don't play dumb. Don't play dumb.
All right, so today is all about making friends as adults. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, what is it when you're a kid that you look for in friends, and why is it so much easier when you're a kid compared to when you're an adult? And there's a couple of things I want to talk about. When you are young, it's so much easier to make friends because you are constantly surrounded by hundreds or thousands of new students in class. You're doing different clubs, you're doing different sports. Opportunities to meet new people is abundant. You're going to parties, you're meeting other people. It's so much easier as a child to make friends.
Time out. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be proactive to break this episode up,
Okay.
so it doesn't go Rohit, boom, 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 Kyle, boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say, I think you have more opportunities as an adult to make friends, because as a kid, you can't drive to the mall, you can't drive to the store, you can't drive to a library, you can't drive to a nightclub, you can't drive to a bar. You can't go to any of those places. You take the bus to school, you ride with 25 kids on a bus, you're in a classroom with 25 kids, and you're at recess with about 200 kids. You're in an assembly with about 1,000 kids or 500 kids, depending upon the size of your school and what town you go to. But as a child, it's socially acceptable to say, hey, do you want to be my friend? And as an adult, that's weird. Why is it weird?
Are we on air right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
No.
when you were like, wait, hold on.
No.
time out. I thought it was like Sam needs to edit this out.
No, I just, because
okay.
when you were saying that, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you to get to another point without discussing that or having to go back too far to it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to interject right now. We're going to discuss this point more.
So do you have more friends now as an adult than you did?
As a kid?
Yeah.
Probably.
Wow.
Because as a kid, you had like 10 friends.
Okay, I can see what you mean. Okay. Okay, I can see that. The other thing, so there's two things that I want to point out before we go into what you're saying. So this is going to be hopefully a shocking stat out there for you guys. Take a look at your bank account. If you're happy, give yourself a thumbs up. If you're not happy with it, give yourself a thumbs down. Your bank account is a reflection of the average of your 10 closest friends' bank accounts. And so what that really talks about is it's really a reflection of who you hang out with as an adult, because you're going to pick up those same patterns, those same ways of thinking. And that's what we're drawn to as adults is people who think like us, who feel like us, who do the same things as us, because we're looking for conformity. Because we don't want to be the 3% of the population that doesn't conform. And so if you take a look at your bank account, the majority of the time it's going to be an average of the bank accounts of your 10 closest friends. So again, if you're happy, fantastic. Hang out with more of those people. If you're not happy, you need to get yourself some new friends. And you can do that by listening to our episode, Circle of Influence. The other thing I want to talk about...
Shameless plug.
The DARE program, right? What was it called? Drug
Abuse Resistance Education.
So think about that. And I remember in 6th grade, I got the shirt. I was the number one student and stuff like that. And I took it so seriously. And what did they always tell you and show you stuff about? These strangers are going to come up to you and offer you drugs. I have never in my life been approached by a stranger saying, do you want to buy drugs? But I can tell you my 10 closest friends have offered me drugs.
You, my friend, didn't grow up in Compton.
That's true. But I think it's also the expectations that you set, to kids growing up. And so I think if we can go back and tell kids, if I can go back and tell myself, a lot of the friends that you have right now, it doesn't matter because you're going to outgrow them. You need to hang out with people who are better than you because that's how you're going to improve. Goes back to the old adage of playing pool with pool players who are better than you because that's how you're going to improve. If you keep hanging out with, if you keep playing pool with people who you destroy them every game, well, that's helping them get better, but that's not doing anything for you. How are you going to improve? And so I think it's easier to make friends as a child, but you think otherwise.
No, I would agree that it's easier, but not because you have more opportunities. I believe you have less opportunities to make friends as a child, but because it's socially acceptable to just be friends with someone because you want to throw dirt at them and you like dirt at the same time, it's easier. You don't go to the supermarket and meet people, but you can. Why don't you? Because it's weird.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. If I was like, Roy, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, me and Bill are going to go out drinking. Who's Bill? Oh, I met him at Safeway. We were in the fucking... I don't know, right? We were looking at vegetables together, and I was checking out a cantaloupe, and he was like, hey, you can tell if a cantaloupe is right? You do this. And he showed you how to tell if a cantaloupe was right, and I was like, that's fucking cool. What's your name? My name is Bill. That's fucking weird. But why is it weird?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So I agree. It's 100% easier, I think, as a kid to make friends, but I don't think it's for a lack of opportunity as an adult. Because I think we have a ton of opportunities as adults to make friends. We don't do it. Mm-hmm. It's just that we've had 20, 30, 40 years for our ideals to be shifted by society. It tells you you're supposed to do certain things at certain places. You're at a grocery store, you're supposed to shop. Right? Mm-hmm. You're at work, you're supposed to work. You're at a nightclub, well, you're supposed to meet girls. Or guys, whatever. Whether you're a guy or a girl or... hetero or homo, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what gets in the way. Not necessarily the lack of opportunity, if that makes sense.
You're saying it's more social norms.
Correct.
That prevent you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Mm-hmm. Or social expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because the norm has become the expectation, right? Mm-hmm. What has become normalized or what is expected to be normal is what's expected of you. So that was the only thing that I would say that I would argue personally, just personal belief or thought, I guess, that it shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard. We like riding bikes. Let's go ride bikes together. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? You like golf? Let's go golf together. Why can't it be that easy?
What's your take on this, Glenn?
To be honest, I keep going back to what you said about playing pool with better players. That's still rolling around in my mind here. Because yes, we do want to improve our skills. And if we're playing with people who are worse players than us, we're not really improving. However, unless we're playing with people like that, we can't help them improve as well. So I think a good mix is where we want to be at with our friends.
We need the mentor, we need the mentee.
Exactly. I mean, we do need someone that can be a mentor to us and someone that we can be a mentor to.
Yeah.
I think that ultimately helps us grow even more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just constantly learning and not learning from teaching.
You ever heard the phrase, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room?
All the time.
I know. It makes me feel really weird
now. I know. I'm always in the wrong room.
But I feel like that's something that you should live by. I mean, we talk about making friends as children versus friends as adults. Mm. I would say now, as an adult, how many of your current friends are currently active in your life in some capacity were childhood friends?
I've really only got one friend, and are we counting junior high and high school, or are we just counting childhood?
Yeah, so are we defining childhood then?
Before
you could take a
adulthood.
look at so you could take a look at teenage and tweenage years, I suppose.
Okay, so then I would probably only have one friend that I've known since junior high.
Mm-hmm. How about since high school? Does that bring it up a little bit?
No, just one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got people that I know, but I wouldn't consider friends.
Yeah, acquaintances maybe.
Maybe acquaintances, yeah.
Friends at one time, drifted apart.
Oh, yeah. I have plenty of those.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that many people don't know about me is I've moved around a lot.
Yeah.
I've lived in 33 different cities.
That's it?
33 different cities. I'm, 36 right now? So.
If you would have said 33 states, that would have been impressive. Step your game up, Glenn.
12 different states.
Damn, good shit.
But that just tells you, there are different types of people that are trying to make friends.
Yeah.
And there are kids out there that don't have that option to make friends in school.
Yeah.
They don't have that option as adults because they're constantly moving. Mm-hmm. You got to set down roots sometime and start making friends.
So, would you say that it's valid observation that maybe it's not lacking an option or opportunity, but it's potentially your experience that has shaped you, not you specifically, but just in general, that person, that has shaped them to believe that their lack of time in this location is not worth it to make friends?
Oh, that's
effort,
something that I
effort goes out the
experienced
window.
myself. Yeah, I look at it like, okay, I just got to this new town, new school. I'm going to be here for 6 months. Why even try?
Yeah, why bother?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's what a lot of military kids go through. Me,
Yeah.
I'm not a military kid by any means.
But you can relate to them.
Right. I can relate to him because my dad being a retired pastor now,
Oh, yeah.
the church used to send him all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And, they talk about religious organizations. Well, they are organizations. They're still
yeah.
corporations. They will move their pastors to different towns to build up churches. And that's just one of the effects on the children as well, as they don't have a chance to socialize and learn the skills needed to build friends. So for the longest time, up until junior high, I can't honestly remember names of any kids from my elementary days.
So I think to me, and if I was put in the same situation as well, you would want to do as much as possible to prevent loss. And so if you were somewhere where you were able to establish some roots and develop some friendships, and then had to be those roots had to be pulled before those flowers were able to bloom and planted somewhere else, I think the pain from losing those initial friends would be enough to prevent me from trying to make more and lose them again. Mm-hmm. And I think that personally, if I was in that situation, I think that would shape some of my decisions, because I think it shapes some decisions in relationships for people as well.
It makes you more careful in who you choose for your friends.
Yeah.
Because you know those people are going to be around even if you move.
Yeah.
So that's
because as
that's
adults
why
you
I
have
can,
an opportunity to keep in touch,
right.
but you don't have as children.
I can literally count my best friends with 2 fingers.
Wow.
2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Friends that I know well enough to converse with and have serious conversations with, bring up serious situations. I know they'll help me. I got 2 hands there.
Yeah.
But those that I know will always be there, even if one of them's kind of an ass and lazy.
Oh.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Well, the ass part maybe, but no. no. I know that these 2 friends I can always count on to at least be there in those situations.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get those types of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's easy to make friends. It really is. But to make those kind of friends, that's the hardest.
Takes
type of
trust.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Takes trust.
And you have to build up that trust. It takes time to build up trust.
Yeah.
And I think as adults, like when we're younger, talking to people about everything that's going on in our lives, that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But as you grow older, I think you become a little bit more selective with who you trust with certain things. So one thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, because I started thinking about, okay, if this is all about making friends as adults, what are some options that we have that we can present to the audience, right?
So how to make friends as adults?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think before we get there, there's someone else that we need to talk to. That we need to define. The majority of our friends, as you call it now, we met through work, right?
Yeah.
And you've just kept in touch or whatever. Both of you guys I met from previous work when I was at Microsoft. And so that's what happens is you hang out with those people all the time and it's, let's go to lunch, and you start those conversations, and that's how you do it. I think before we can even get to how do you make friends as adults, we need to define what friendship means or what is friends.
Okay.
Because for the 3 of us, it's probably all different. I define a friend as someone, if I saw them at the mall, I would go up and say hi to them. Which, for other people, that's very generic.
Yeah, that's not good enough for me.
And so I think that's what we need to do.
To me, that's someone I know and I'm pleasant with, but
It's an acquaintance.
Yeah.
right, it's an acquaintance.
Yeah.
So how would you guys define, like Glenn, for example, when you say 2, what is it that puts those 2 in a different category than others? What are some of the, because it is a conscious decision. It's not like that person's been around forever. Because I mean, there's probably been people in your life who have been there since day one that you don't trust at all.
Exactly.
And so what is it as an adult that we define what a friend is? And the way I was thinking about this is, well, that's not important. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so someone you say hi and you run into in the mall, to me, is an acquaintance. Someone you would invite over to your house, I would say, is a friend. Someone who would pick you up from an airport is a close friend. And someone who would sign their name on a piece of paper to bail you out of jail is the best friend.
Thank goodness I've never really been there.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to get bailed out of jail. And maybe that's not a good example for everyone. I'm not condoning prison time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But it would take a lot, right? If Glenn, I would consider you a friend. But if I went to jail, you would not be a person I would call, just because I wouldn't.
You don't know me well enough.
Exactly, right? I would call, there's 5 other people I would call first. Fuck. Hey, I fucked up. I'm in jail. Fucking bail's $5,000. Come get me. Like, $5,000? What the fuck? Glenn would be like,
you know where I work.
yeah. Glenn would be like, man, Kyle's stupid ass is in jail. What the fuck?
You know where I work. Where am I going to get $5,000?
He thinks I got $5,000. He's dumber than I thought he was. So I think that's kind of like a loose translation or definition of friends. But yeah, if I recognize somebody in the mall or shopping somewhere, something like that, I said hi, I wouldn't necessarily consider that friends or a close friendship. I would consider that maybe an acquaintance. But if I would call or text that person or hang out with that person or invite them over to my house or to do something with other people, then that I think is friendship. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought.
Mm-hmm. So as an adult, what are some things that we can do? I think it's important to get outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not what
Definitely.
this is about. Anyone can make friends at work because you see them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go grab some food, and little by little you just start talking about, commonalities, and before you know it, you're friends. What are some things that we can do outside of work? And I think a lot of the things that we can do are centered around networking events where there's a certain commonality. And meetup.com is fantastic. Fantastic website where you can look up local events and whatnot, but different networking opportunities.
Oh, you got to sneeze? Or you laughing?
No, I was pretending to cry because you started laughing at me.
Oh, you said meetup.com, and it made me think of some childish thing that I don't even know what it was from, but it was like, you come meet me up right now. Like, it was dumb. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you, but it made me laugh.
Okay. What did Omen do?
If it's clean enough, he'll post it to YouTube too.
Yeah, it was clean enough.
But Meetup is fantastic, right? Or, a lot of times as we are adults, we only want to find ourselves in situations that we're comfortable in. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times that means turning down invitations where normally, you get invited to a party and you're like, wow, I'm not going to know anyone there, or only a couple of people. I'm not going to go. That's outside my comfort zone. And then you talk about how you don't have friends. So this year, at the beginning of the year, Kyle, on air, I told you I'm going to accept all invitations for this year.
Ooh.
And I have. And it's been amazing. What? What did I say no to?
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. You'll remember soon.
Yep. One day.
I'm not going to remember. Oh,
He probably won't because he didn't actually say no. Just wanted to give him a little trouble.
But I think that's important too, is you can't say you don't have any friends and you want to make more friends and you're turning down invitations at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to work out. And so that's what you need to do, is you need to extend yourself. You need to go beyond yourself and beyond your limitations, quote, of what you're thinking that you can and can't do.
Yeah. What is the most unique or obscure way you've met someone that you are still friends with today as an adult?
Oh, that's good. It's going to be tough because as I'm thinking, there's dead air.
Okay, well, continue thinking. I'm going to share a story. Continue thinking. I'm going to share one. I was working. It's a long time I was working at Best Buy. And this girl came in to get a car stereo installed, and she's trying to get some shit done for free. And I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. No, it's going to be this, blah, blah. And then the installers were like, hey, yeah, tell her to come back here. Tell her to come back here. I was like, okay, go around back. They'll take care of you. So the installers take care of it, get everything taken care of. And I don't remember exactly what had happened, what transpired. And she was hanging out with one of the guys in the install bay. And they were texting me as a joke, like, hey, this is so-and-so I met you at the club last week. Because I was young, I was single at Best Buy, went out a lot, hung out a lot, met people, right? And I was like, oh, no, I don't remember. What's up? Who's this? Where do we meet at?
Yeah.
It turned out it was my boy Rob Nedro, who you've met, and Simone, playing around, like, trying to prank me.
Yeah.
And they got me. It was
Simone
like funny.
was a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And ever since then, we've become friends. Like, she was quite a bit younger, right? So it was kind of like a brother-sister relationship. She'd be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just chilling at home. Oh, do you care if I stop by? Yeah, I don't care, whatever. And she would come by, like, after school and hang out with me and Rob or whoever. and then get ready to go do stuff because she didn't want to be at home, right? She's like young, wanted to be out and hanging out. So it was like super weird how we met and how we continue to communicate. I don't even know how we stayed friends or how we kept communicating and kept in touch with each other, but that was one that was like really weird and memorable way to meet somebody, is from someone else in like prank text messaging.
I think for me, looking back, maybe, and this is going to kind of go into what you said earlier, as adults, we don't just go up to someone and say, hey, do you want to be friends? But I did do that one time. So Jocelyn, I've kind of...
God damn it.
talked about that on air. Someone I worked with, right? But we didn't become friends because of work. I saw enough qualities in her to where I was like, you know what? I want to be friends with her. So I went up to her and I was like, look, this is going to sound really weird and creepy. And I was like, I want to be friends with you. Like good friends. And she was like, oh, like, yeah, like I want to be good friends with you too. I was like, I just want to skip past all the, little increments and eventually 6 months down the road, we're friends. We see enough value in each other. Can we just skip all that and be friends? And she was like, sure. And I was like, I've never done this before. I don't know what this means. And she was like, yeah, neither have I. And so we decided...
Do we share underwear now?
We, so that's how we became friends. And it was so unique. And I've done that now with other people that I see enough value in. I'll go up to them. I'm like, you know what? Like, I know I just met you. I see enough value in you. I'd like to be friends. Or, something along those lines. And if they think that's weird, then that's fine. Then I didn't want to be friends with them anyway. Or, that's not the kind of person
Don't be petty. Don't be petty.
I'm just saying, that's not the kind of person I probably want in my life.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you misread the situation.
It was just an escalated path. And I thought that was fantastic. And I've done it, a lot more since. And what that does is it helps define, okay, when do you go from an acquaintance to a friend, to a close friend, to a best friend?
And how you define that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. My buddy Tim talked about that recently too. He was like, when did we actually become friends? Because we were acquaintances, friends of friends. It was kind of like, I don't know. Somewhere along the line, we had mutual drinking buddies, and we kind of figured out, hey, this guy's kind of cool. We should hang out.
Yeah. It's like Glenn and I became friends because other friends continuously let us down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I just kept getting invited to parties by Rohit, and finally, eventually, I just went, okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's see what this is all about. I keep hearing his parties are great. Let's see. Didn't know anyone there, but you know what? It was still fun.
Mm-hmm. Good shit.
Well, I was thinking about movies.
And then, yes, movies. Yeah. That was another thing. We did have several people not show up.
Romantic movie dates?
Well, we had several people say, yeah, we'll be there for the movie, and then never show up.
So did you
guys... kind of fun.
Did you guys go see 27 Dresses together?
No.
Just 50 Shades.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But it was interesting because we would do these midnight releases, and at one point, I mean, I still have the pictures, there were like 20 of us.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
We would continuously do this. And little by little, it just dropped.
Got down to us.
Mm-hmm.
To where Glenn and I, like, we said to each other, we're like, why do we even invite other people if we know it's just going to be us now?
Yeah.
And then it was just us.
You just stop asking people, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go. We know that we enjoy this. Let's go together. We don't have to hold hands anymore. We don't have to do the popcorn trick anymore.
It's the stretch,
yeah.
You know.
He knows where it's at. Yeah, exactly.
I was just stretching. Yeah.
Good stuff.
No, I do have a pretty weird friendship thing, and something I don't actually recommend because social media is kind of bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not great for making good friends. However, playing Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I'm known for, right? And it's one of those friendships that just sort of happened. I met some guys playing on Halo 5.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 5? No. 3.
Talking about
Sorry.
Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
I think that was about 3.
Yeah, it was 3. Would have been Halo 3. But yeah, met him on Halo 3. And we've been chatting on there. We teamed up several times and then just kept playing together. Eventually, it just got down to, hey, what what area of the country are you in? Oh, I'm in Washington. Hey, I'm in Washington too. Where? Well, I'm out in Puyallup. Oh, hey, I'm in Tacoma. Just go get a burger.
Nice.
And that's how that came about. And I've got several friends that I met that way through Xbox.
That's pretty cool. You know, we were just discussing that recently with, we're going to wrap up really soon, but I want to share this too. Nintendo 64. Last game console to have 4 fucking controller ports.
Yes.
Right? Why'd that go away?
GoldenEye.
Why'd that go away?
Because now everything's wireless, and you can do 4 controllers anyways.
No, you can't.
Most games don't have...
Okay. I know what
Co-op.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd that go away?
Yeah.
They don't have internal co-op. It's all...
Because if I allow you to all play 4 players on one system, you don't all have to buy a $70 game. Right?
Well, that's part of it, yeah.
Quadrupling your revenue. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers.
That's also a way to force people into their online services.
Yeah,
So
both.
not only...
Both of which. You're
Not
getting
only
a
do they
monthly recurring
quadruple
revenue.
their-
Yeah. Bastards. Anyway, that was really it. You know, how the gaming community has shifted. You used to play games with your friends. Now you play games with people who become your friends.
You'd set up multiple TVs to play with each other, too. It was great.
Yep. Yeah, not anymore. Anyway. Well, shoot. Guys, today's episode is all about making friends as adults. How do you do it? Is it easier than making friends as a child, really? Or is it more difficult? Do you have more or less opportunities as an adult than you do as a child? I would argue that you have more opportunities as an adult, but it's definitely more difficult because of the societal norms that we believe to be true.
I think you have the ability to create more opportunities as an adult.
Do you have the ability to create more opportunities as a child?
No.
So would that mean there's less opportunities?
As a child, I still think you have more opportunities because every year you're 30 new people. Every year 30 new people. Or you go to school, high school, there's 1,200 kids. As an adult, though, you have the ability to create opportunities.
So here's what I would
But
say.
the vast majority never will.
In my elementary school, there was 2 second grade teachers, 2 third grade teachers, 2 fourth grade teachers, 2 fifth grade teachers. So there was 60 people. Mm-hmm. There was a 50% chance that half of those people were going to be in your same grade in 4th grade and in 5th grade. So it was like maybe 10 or 15 new people. But it was the same 60 fucking people that kept going like this and a couple of transplants. So to me, we could agree to disagree, but I truly believe that as an adult you have more opportunities and you can create more opportunities. Because at work, unless you work in a very small office, in our office we have 400 or 500 people. That's a lot. So, think about that. Is it easier or is it more difficult as a child versus an adult? How many opportunities do you have? What are we doing to ourselves to prevent loss that is also preventing us from gain, from creating more friendships and developing more relationships? Take a look at your circle of influence. Rohit mentioned a stat earlier that your 10 closest friends are the equivalent of what your bank account is today. So take a look at that. And if your bank account is not where you want it to be, take a look at your friends. And I'm not saying don't be their friends anymore, but maybe bring others into your circle. And as always, if you're the smartest person in the room, get the fuck out of the room. You were in the wrong room. You're not going to learn anything. Unless you're an instructor. Then it's okay, I guess.
Unless you have to be there.
Yeah, unless you got to be there. Unless you're getting paid to be there. Then you're good. Then you're good.
Been there, done that.
Yep. But with that said, you guys got anything else before we close out the show today?
I think it's important, and as awkward as this is, if you see someone that you want to be better friends with, or maybe they're a friend in your life and you want them to play a larger role in your life, tell them. Especially if you guys are already friends. It's going to be flattering to them. If you go up to someone and say, Glenn, I've had a good time hanging out with you. I'd like for us to be better friends. It's only going to be awkward when you first start doing it, but now, I can say that all the time, no problem. It's going to be a little awkward for the other person because we don't do that as adults or even as kids. We never really truly evaluate our friendships. But I think it's super important to do. always take a look at who is in your life. And Circle of Influence episode, that's all it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what it's centered around. Circled around, if you will. I dig it. Yeah, definitely. Take time to evaluate those friendships and relationships and see what they're doing for you and what you're doing for them. With that being said, thanks for tuning in for another fantastic episode of the GYST Podcast. Get your shit together. GYSTpodcast.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Rohit's favorite, Pinterest. Pinterest. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Leave a feedback and share the podcast with your friends on iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever Google Play Store, whatever application you're using on your Android or iOS device. And if you're listening on a laptop or desktop, go to the website, GYSTpodcast.com. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to our GYST podcast. We hope you learned how to get your together.